Howdy all. All right, so we're on to part three where we're going to kind of finish out these triggers that we've got going on with our internal nodes, take metadata, assignee, lifespan, tags, notifications, SSAT, and integrations. Tell me that's not a mouthful. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and copy our template we've got there at the bottom because we're going to need it a couple times. I'm just going to paste a couple times. And let's get started with our internal notes. So we're going to need one for post organization info. All right, we're going to do that when the ticket is updated. The Salesforce ID is present. The organization is not null. The organization is not GitLab. And tags contain none of the following or info private comments. And I misspelled private, so let's put that. All right. All right, we're not going to have any of those. So action-wise, we're going to add tags or info private comments. And we're going to notify webhook post update ticket, which will actually handle our commenting and the like. So webhook content to be determined. If you're wondering how I'm getting some of these so fast or how they just seem to come to me, I've done this enough that some of these things just aren't new. We've done them before. Posting org data, that's something we've been doing for a long, long time. So it's just something I can kind of just rattle off as I go. All right, so something unique to federal, post when discover call checkbox is checked. I know, just right up there with the originality on the naming. So ticket is created. Discovery session request is checked. And that should be all we need since it'll only run once because ticket can only be created once. So we won't have any conditions. We're just going to notify webhook post updates to tickets, DVD, and we'll add a comment. Webhook content DVD. Cool. So next we're going to need the summary stuff. So post summary reminder at 10 replies. I'm going to copy this because we have one also for 20 replies, and then we have one for 30 replies. So we'll largely be able to use these conditions repeatedly. So ticket is updated. Tags contain none of the following. Agent reminder 10. Current user is end user. That. We need agent replies greater than 10 and agent replies less than 15. And status is less than solved. And action-wise, we're going to add tags, agent reminder 10, and then we're going to notify webhook, post update to tickets, TV. We'll add the comments for that in a bit, but I'm going to copy all of this. The reason for that is I can kind of paste it here in 20, 20, 25, 20. And then I can do the exact same for 30. And we're going to call it 30, 30, 35, 30. All right, so let me copy this real quick since we're about to do it a couple different times. So we have one for 10. We have one for 20. And we have one for 30. All right, so that knocks those out pretty quick. We also need to post an org note when it's expired. We do that specifically for federal because they do their org notes a bit differently. On global, we have a processor that does all that for us, but that is not the case on federal. So what we need is status less than solved. Tags contain at least one of the following expired. Tags contain none of the following, and we want all our starter, premium, ultimate, prospect, priority, prospect, custom. Tag contain none of the following: autoresponder, expired support. We shouldn't need any tags for this, and action-wise, we need to add tags, autoresponder, and then we're going to notify webhook, DVD. Copy this, paste it here. Notice that I did it wrong up here. Fix it. There we go. That should be all we need in terms of internal notes. So we can go ahead and move on to ticket metadata. Now, as of current on federal, there's only one thing we do this on, and that is set ticket ARR and plan. Capitalize plan. And this is organization, it's not null, organization, it's not GitLab. Ticket is updated to act as our trigger point, and tags contain none of the following: ARR and plan added, spelled plan. All right, we don't have any actions there, and what we're going to do is add tags this, and then notify webhook, post update to tickets, TBD, and we're going to add a comment, webhook content TBD. That's the only real metadata thing we do right now for federal. There could always be more. That's why it's got its own little category. But for the time being, that's all we've got. All right, so moving on to assignee. We're knocking these out pretty quick. Offhand, I can think of two. So assign ticket to agent if unassigned, and remove assignee if non-human. So let's start with the assign ticket to agent if unassigned. Basically, we're going to have ticket is updated. Current user is agent. Current user is not support ops because that's our bot, and assignee is null. We shouldn't have any innies, and all we need to do is assignee current user. All right, removing when it's not human, so status less than closed. I'm gonna do it here. That way we have the ability to add more if we add more bots in the future. And we're gonna set assignee to null and group to null. So that's all we should need for assignee. It's a little bit of the easier one. All right, so lifecycle. These are kind of our just whatever fits, kind of doesn't fit into these other categories. It's almost like an other, but specifically they're things that kind of run independent of everything else. So customer calling present, ticket is updated, current user is agent, comment is public, current user is not support ops, and tags contain none of the following: agent, offered, call. I remember specifically spelled like that on the tag that's currently in use, and we don't want to mess with that. So comment text contains the following string. And I can think, and I believe there are 4 of them we need to worry about. We have Calendly.com, GitLab, Zoom, USJ, GitLab, meetings, webex.com/meet, and the Microsoft Teams one, which is Microsoft COM-L meetup join. That should get us the tag that we're looking for here. So what we want to do is add tags, agent offered call. That's just for some tracking purposes, for our metrics and all that fun stuff. All right, so see, we need to reopen on hold ticket if no public reply. This ensures our agents are sending updates to customers when they move from on hold. So status is on hold. Tags contain at least one of the following: agent update needed. Shouldn't have any's there, so status is going to be changed to open, and then we're going to email user assignee TBD email content TBD. We also need one for when it is opened using a internal note, or when it goes to pending with internal notes. So let's add that. Reopen pending internal request ticket when private comment is made. This way, when our light agents reply on a internal request ticket, it gets opened and we know it needs some attention. So status change to pending. Comment is private. I can spell. Role is agent. Comment text contains none of the following. That's something mostly for global, but if we ever bring on Babel to federal, we need it there. And tags contain none of the following. Skip, auto, reopen. Feels like I'm actually going with something else with the way I've made this. So what I'm going to do is copy this and give us a second one down here, because it looks like I figured out a different one that we need. So we'll have to look at the status is pending. Comment private roles agent, comment text, we don't need, we'll keep that. We don't want that. Form is license issue. Change this to license issue ticket to use our form name. And what we want to do is simply put the status to open. Open. All right, so this should be when a ticket status is pending and a comment is private comment is made and the role is agent. We need to add ticket is updated, don't we? So we do. Ticket is updated. Status pending, comment private, roles agent, comment doesn't contain unbabel, and the form is license issue. We're going to reopen the ticket, which means we need one for ticket reopen ticket and set to pending with internal comments. All right, so ticket is updated, status changed to pending. Current user is agent. Current user is agent. Comment is private. Let's see, ticket updated status changed to pending. Current user. That should be good. And then status open. That should work, but I'm going to put a little note on this one. I'm unsure on these because they might need some testing. And I feel like we should probably, when doing this, email user assignee TBD email content TBD. I'm unsure on those, so we'll have to end up going back off to talk to James and them about those because I'm a little unsure about those. All right, so moving on to our tags, because that should be all we need in regards to, the lifespan of the ticket. So moving to tags, we're going to actually paste a couple of these. Just because we're going to probably need a couple of these. All right, so we're going to have one for tag tickets missing SLA. And this will be status, let's do less than solved. Tags contain none of the following. And this is where we're going to want to pull our SLA tags. Prospect isn't one, but still. Expired, custom, and then we need the missing SLA tag. And organization is not GitLab. Shouldn't have any's there that I can think of. So we're going to add tags, missing SLA tag, notify webhook, post updates, date tickets, DVD, because we're going to need to put an internal note there. So return to DVD. Yeah, we'll figure out the webhook's content a little later. Because of the on hold thing that we have above, we need to remove agent update needed tag. And this is going to be ticket is updated, comment is public, current user is agent, tags contain at least one of the following, agent update needed, shouldn't be any conditions, and we just need to remove tags, agent update needed. All right, so we have some follow-up ticket tags that we use, so let's remove assigning follow-up tags. That should be when the ticket is updated, and tags contain at least one of the following. On hold ticket assignee follow up. These follow up. And we're also going to have one for open tickets. So open. And we shouldn't have any other actions because that's what we really care about here. So for these, we just need to remove tags. Actually, thinking about it, no, we are going to have some any because we need to specify the statuses. So status changed to pending. Status changed to solved. Status is pending. Status is solved. Basically, when we have our tickets are on hold or our open tickets, activate through automations, we'll add these things saying that follow-ups required, and then we'll remove the tags as follow-ups are provided. So we also have for the due date tasks, remove, what is that? Task notification sent tag. These will really play into the automations. So contain at least one of the following. Assigning is current user, ticket is updated. And really we just need to remove this tag. So remove tags. Okay, cool. So we use pending follow-up notifications and auto solve messaging. So we need to make sure we remove those as well. So pending follow-up notification and ticket auto solve as the names currently used. Ticket is reopened. So its work is tags contain at least one of the following. We're gonna have pending notification and ticket auto solve. And for any, we need to do status change to open or status change to on hold. And all we need to do is remove tags, and we're going to remove these two right here. Cool. Let's see. Because we're going to be doing a notification system for support operations and LNR, we need to remove the tags for that. So ops and LNR need to notification tag, and ticket is reopened. So ticket is updated, current user is end user, status changed to open, tags contain at least one of the following, and we're going to do support ops notification and LNR notification. Shouldn't need any, so what we can do is just copy these, and our actions are remove tags. That should be all we need to do involving tags. So we can move on to notifications. I can think of a couple, so I'm going to paste a couple of these in here. So we're going to have to notify the signee when rating is submitted, because our agents want to know that happens. So status is solved. Tags containing none of the following. Sat submitted. And for any, we need satisfaction is. And there are 3 kinds we want to notify agents for. So bad with comment, good with comment, and bad. And our actions are going to be to add tags, sat submitted, and we need email the assignee. So email user, assignee, TBD. We need to add a comment. Email content TBD. Save. Alrighty, so we also need to notify the assignee when comment is made, or comment update. So notify any comment update. This is going to be, you'll see comment is present. So public or private, full name of that is index. Assignee is not current user. Assignee is not requester. I know that sounds weird, but it's an edge case. Assigned is not changed. Status not changed from solved. Yep, that should cover us. And we're going to email user sign TBD. Email content TBD. Okay, so we also need to, let's see. Need to notify requester of comment updates. Yeah, notify requester of comment update. Let's see, so the ticket is updated. Comment is public. Requester is not current user. Shouldn't have any innies, and we need to email user requester TBD. Once again, email content TBD. Okay, let's see. We need to notify the assignee of assignment. Let them know a ticket has been assigned to them. So assignee changed, and assignee is not current user. It's not the one who did the change. Email user assignee TBD. Email content TBD. Let's see. We need to notify assignee of a reopened ticket. So let them know the ticket's been reopened. So assignee not current user. Status changed from solved. Status is not closed. It's not closed. It's only prevalent in the chat stuff, and we're not using that, but in case we do, we need to ensure that Twitter mentions don't play into it. We don't use any of that, but just in case. Email user signing TBD. Email content TBD. All right, so let's see. All right, so thinking of a couple others that we'll need. Okay, so we talked about support ops and LNR, and we also want to notify the requester about a ticket being auto-solved. So notify requester about auto-solve. Status is solved. Tags contain at least one of the following. Auto-solve tags contain none of the following. Auto-solve message. Yep, auto-solve message. Those are cases where we don't want that. And we don't want this happening on support ops, and don't want it happening on LNR. We might have some other forms we don't want it running on, so we can do that in testing. Going to add tags about the auto-solve message and notify active webhook post update ticket TBD. These are actions. I don't know why I pasted them there. And webhook content TBD. There we go. Just for the sake of looking the same. Okay, so we needed to ping support ops via Slack for unassigned tickets. Ticket is updated. Form is support ops. The assignment is null. Tags contain none of the following. So support ops notification. Let's do it with comment is present, public or private, because we only want to do this for comments. Don't think we have any there, so add tags, support ops notification, and notify webhook post in support operations. DVD, webhook content TBD. All right, I'm gonna copy these because we should have something relatively similar for ping LNR via Slack for unassigned tickets. Form is LNR. And this is going to be instead of support ops notification, LNR notification. And let me copy the channel name. There we go. All righty. So that should be all our notifications. Through testing, we might find a couple others we want to add. So, never be too strict on that one. All right. So SATs. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to say there's 7 of them that I can think of. And they're all going to kind of follow the same thing. So create feedback issue when reason is. I'm going to copy that because we are going to use that for several of these. Probably would have made more sense to just do it on one and then copy them from there. So we'll need null and comments are present. We'll need product as a potential reason for dissatisfaction. Other is a potential reason. Not helpful was another reason. Not resolved was another. Not resolved was another. There's no reason provided. not quite the same as null. Timely manner is another one. Yeah, it should be all of them. Okay. So with that in mind, tags contain none of the following: feedback exported, satisfaction reason is the reason provided. Satisfaction is bad with comments, and log satisfaction is good with comments. And our action for this will be to add tags, feedback exported, and then notify webhook, create feedback issue, GitLab.com. Key there because we don't know what it is. We'll come back and do that though. All right, so when it's product, we're going to have something pretty similar here. Except the satisfaction reason for product, what is that? Does not meet my needs is the wording we used. And we don't actually care about the TBD on this one. We always want it there. But our actions are going to be the exact same. So we can actually just go ahead and copy this because we're just going to start reusing it. So the reason is other. The wording on other was some other reason. And the real crux of these comes from the actual webhook itself. So not helpful was the answer wasn't helpful. The one for not resolved was the issue was not resolved. I'm kind of doing these from memory, but if you're ever unsure, you can always just look it up in Zendesk itself to be sure. So timely manner, because I skipped that one, was the answer wasn't delivered. Timely manner. Which is Google likes to autocorrect me. It didn't autocorrect me there. For no reason provided. We're going to do satisfaction reasons, no reason provided, and satisfaction is bad. Not with comment, not without, just without the comment. Yeah, so that should cover those. So what I need to do is copy this because I'm going to need it. And we're going to start making comments. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, you probably want to look these up in Zendesk itself. I just have done this enough that I kind of have most of these memorized. All right, so our final section is our integration stage. This is stuff that traditionally is not necessarily running off Zendesk. A lot of this is going to be webhooks, so paste a couple of these. All right, so I know we have one for create SFD case when ticket is created. And that is organization is not null, organization GitLab, ticket is created, form is not a license issue because that's an internal one. Tags contain none of the following. SFTC case created. Shouldn't have any any's, and it's going to be add tags. SFTC case created, and notify webhook create or update case TBD. That one I know really well because I created it. And relatively recently at that. Okay, so we also need one for update SFD case when ticket is closed. When ticket is closed, this one is going to be organization. We can actually probably copy a lot of this right here. So let's do that. Let's see, we're gonna, instead of created, we want status change to closed. Instead of none of contains at least one of the following, because we only want it to run when there was a case created. And all we're going to do on this for the action is paste work. Is actually called the same thing. So webhook content DVD. Right, cool. So the other one that I know we use is create internal request issue for license issue form. And this one is going to be ticket is created. Tags contain none of the following. And in fact, this one should be internal request created because I am just not original on this. Form is license issue. I'm going to scroll up here and copy these two because they are pretty commonly reoccurring set of conditions. Add tags and then notify webhook, create internal request issue, and we'll add a comment, webhook content TBD. All right. We'll also need one for closing internal requests queue. And let's see, for that one, we'll see tags contain at least one of the following. We're going to use the internal request created tag. Contain none of the following. Get rid of that. Closed. We want to do this when the assignee is changed from null. And basically what we're going to do here is add tags and notify webhook. I'm pretty sure, even though I shouldn't have, it is called this. Again, we'll confirm this later when we're making the webhook content, so not too bad there. All right, so another one that's sometimes used is create documentation issue. This is, let's see, ticket is updated, current user is agent, comment is private, comment text contains the following string, create documentation issue, where it's all caps like that, tags contain at least one of the following, create doc issue, tags contain none of the following, doc issue created. And our actions for this are going to be to add the tags, doc issue created, to notify webhook, create documentation issue, TBD, put content TBD. All right. And the last one is gonna really mirror this one. So let me copy this real quick. Because this is for create discussion issue. And let's see, with that one, I think we're gonna change up this a bit because status is not closed. I don't care about any of that because we don't need context. Instead of doc, it is discussion. And this will be this discussion. The reason for this is with the doc issue, there's some context we need to create the actual issue, which is used in an internal comment. That's the signature there. That's the kind of trigger right there. As with a discussion issue, we're just kind of creating an issue about the ticket for discussion. So there's not a whole lot we need added to it. So let's add that. Webhook content TBD. Okay. And that should be everything that we need to actually get all of that in place. So with all of that in place, that completes the triggers. So I'm going to call this the end of part 3. For part 4, we'll start working on either the automations or the Zendesk Salesforce sync, and then part 5 would be the one we don't work on. All right. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.